hope you are all doing well and you're safe and sound and flourishing and thriving. Today's video is a first impressions of this notebook. This notebook is a Lamy notebook. This is the Cahier. It's A6 size. This was sent over by Inked Pens for me to check out, and actually not even review, just to check it out. But I thought, why not? Because I have seen these notebooks before, never tried them. So this is actually my first time using a Lamy notebook. Actually, my first time touching a Lamy notebook. So let's do that. A little bit of detail about the pen. Okay. So they come in a pack of 3. And you're looking at like $12 for the pack of 3 US. So they're not super cheap, but they're actually, they're hand stitched. They have a nice flexible, semi-flexible, like a craft cover in like a silvery gray. They've got, let me see here, what else? Unique page ruling developed by Lamy. I'll show you this in a little more detail when we're down on the desk. 64 pages, 90-gram paper, and it's acid free, so it's like, it'll last. And they say no bleed through, so we'll see how that goes. It's Lamy, so I would hope it's fountain pen friendly, but I don't know. You never know. So anyway, we're going to do that. And just to let you guys know, Inked Pens will be a blog sponsor for the next 6 months. And they have very graciously given me a discount code that I can share with you. So if you would like 10% off, you can use Love Gourmet Pens. And yeah, that's the thing. That's the deal. So hopefully you'll make use of that. No commission, and it's really just for you guys. So have fun with it. Check out the links below. I will put links for this, and now we're gonna go touch it. But it almost has no scent, which is fascinating. Huh. Very, very, very faint traces of like paper, but almost doesn't smell like anything. Very unusual. Anyway, okay, if you're still here, keep watching. We're gonna go test the paper. Okay, now for the fun part of the video. I get to play with the notebook. So it is a cute little Cahier. I really like notebooks that have contrast with the covers and the stitching. So the neon green is very fun. It's a very light neon, like a lime neon. Rounded corners, kind of like a linen cover. I like how it looks. And it's pretty simple. It's got Lamy on the back, but other than that, it's, it's very unbranded other than that. So inside, we can take a look at it. It's got the, wow, look at that. It's not even green, it's actually yellow, like fluorescent yellow. So fun. So it does lie flat, so it can open completely. You can fold it back. Very convenient in that regard. I could totally see this being nice and portable. And of course, it's flexible, so you can have fun with it. But really, we want to see how the paper is. The paper is very, very interesting. Okay, so this is the ruling. So it's lines with a dotted grid. Dotted grid. Okay, that's kind of confusing. It does have margins around the entire thing. At first, when I first seen these notebooks when they were first launched, I thought the paper was too busy. Like, I thought it might be a little difficult to work with. So it should be interesting to see how that goes as I'm actually writing with it. I wrote this. This is the discount code, but that was really not my full impression, obviously. Let's get started. I have a couple things here, and let's start with the pencil. So we're gonna start with the pencil. It's kind of toothy, like it's not super smooth and coated like a really smooth like Rhodia R or something. Like it's not velvety. I think, I mean, I'm not a pencil connoisseur. I just enjoy playing with them. I think it's pretty decent for pencils. At least for this pencil. I don't have a whole lot of pencils. I have just a few black wings and a couple others. I've got the Baron Fake Archers and a few Franklin Christophs, in addition to a mechanical pencil or two. But I would be really happy using a pencil in this notebook. And pretty fun for lettering, actually. I mean, this is awful lettering, which is hilarious. But the grid, the dot grid, actually makes for a nice guide, and it doesn't obstruct my view of the lettering after it's written. So my first impression, where I thought it might have been too busy, it's actually not that bad. So I feel like I could make it work. In fact, it's quite useful. So there's some pencil action. Let's do a Pentel gel pen. Just checking for feathering or bleed through. This is the Pentel Energel. I'm not going to spend too much time on other writing instruments. So here's a ballpoint. I mean, typically most papers do fine with gel pens and ballpoints. I just want to have it written for the sake of completion. So there's a ballpoint. I have a very light highlighter just to see how the paper handles it. I mean, I'm not expecting it to not handle it. So far, it looks fantastic. Marker. It is a permanent marker. Don't worry, I'm getting to the fun stuff, which is the fountain pens. Marker. That's a pretty broad writing. Okay, that does bleed through. Not surprising. I wouldn't expect it to not bleed through. Let's turn the page and do some fountain pens. I have a few here. First up, I have... Okay, I can definitely feel the tooth with this fountain pen. This is a really fine nib, so it's an extra fine. It's typically extremely smooth. Like on most papers, it just glides across the page. It's not catching on this paper, but I can feel the tooth. There's definitely feedback. It's not the end of the world, but if you like a super smooth writing experience, you will not necessarily get it on this paper. Hello, Jello. But I mean, you can hear it, but you can see that it's not catching anywhere. It's performing fine. Okay, and then I have my Food A nib, which I had stored upright, so give me 1 second. Why did I store it upright? I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. It was in my pen case. So this one is pretty generous. It's actually not like a crazy gusher. I think it's pretty reasonable in terms of how much ink it puts down, considering what kind of nib it is. It seems to be holding up pretty well. I'm guessing there's going to be some bleed through. So let's flip it over and try the fine side. Again, I can feel the tooth, but it's not at all a negative thing. It's just a different feeling. So if you're someone who does like tooth to your paper, or if you have a lot of pens that have baby's bottom, this is actually a good type of paper. Next up, we have the very fun Gravitas pen, Skittles. This is a broad, and it's a pretty juicy writer. Applying some pressure here. See how that does. So far, I have not seen any feathering. Let me give this a little more. So it actually dries pretty quickly. I do see some of the ink absorbing into the paper. If you write with a heavy hand, I think what's going to happen is you will get some bleed through. So let's turn the page. Oh my goodness. Okay, that actually exceeded my expectations. The reason I thought there was going to be bleed through was because if you look at like here, it looks like the paper has absorbed it. And typically, in my experience, that means I get bleed through, but that's actually superb. I don't see any feathering so far. Let's turn the page and do some wide writing. I've got a Franklin Christoph music nib here, which is a pretty generous nibbage. Wow, I don't know what this is. That's awful. I don't even know how to write it because it's like doesn't make any sense. Okay. But this is very nice. Broad nibs, wide nibs, stub nibs make it the contact on the paper is great. So that looks awesome, actually. So you get nice full lines, full coverage, nice crisp changes in your lines. Like you're not going to get skipping as much. Not that this does skip, but this is Sailor Manio. Oh my god, what is it? I think this one was Ukisaka. I hope I spelled that right. Ukisaka or Ukisake. It's the green one. Pretty awesome. Okay, so I think we have concluded that in terms of fountain pen usage, it actually holds up quite well. What I want to do is a quick inking with some water. Okay, that's got to bled through a bit. I mean, I don't know. I thought it would bleed through earlier, but what I'm doing here is just seeing how it will handle water, how the paper will dry, like if it's going to warp or crinkle. Personally, I don't mind crinkling. And I actually don't think warping will be too bad because it's not a super thick cahier. So even if it does warp, it'll still be fine. It'll still close. It's not a hardcover. Hardcovers are more a pain when you have warping and the notebook doesn't close. Let's leave that to dry a bit. Okay. So this is water. And if we want to do something like, I'm turning it sideways because I want to see how I feel about the line sideways. I definitely feel a little confused, but not confused, but the solid ruling, like the lines, are throwing me off a tiny bit, but it's not too bad. I think it's something that you could work with. ᵐᵉᵒévཪ. Fruit. Flies. Okay, I'm gonna leave that. Let's use this. My new Opus 88 confetti. And okay, after I've written this, I'm going to just take some of that water and just swipe. Oh, that was way more water than I expected or wanted, but oopsies. Just going to swipe it around a little. Okay, while this dries, let's, what else can I do? I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is pretty decent. Way better than I expected it to be. I just thought, based on its appearance, like, and the way it felt, that it just wouldn't be that fountain pen friendly, but it's pretty amazing. I'm just gonna do one thing. Give that a second. In the meantime, I'm gonna close this up. Okay. While that does its thing, just see. Okay, so it's not really crinkling. It's very slightly warped. I mean, it will dry more, and it might warp a tiny bit more, but wow, that's amazing. I honestly thought it would bleed right through, and it's barely bleeding through. So, color me quite impressed. Much better than I thought it was going to be. So, that's pretty awesome. Wow. How exciting. It's so fun when you get something and you just, I don't know, you expect it to be one thing and it ends up being something way better. So, oh my goodness, you guys. I have to say, Lamy did a very cute job, very good job on these notebooks. Good choice on the paper. Very cute in hand. Wowzers. I approve, and I'm pretty happy with it. So, thank you so much to Inked Pens for sending this over for me. I honestly would never have tried the Lamy paper had I not had this opportunity. And not because I had any issues with it. I just didn't think I would. It just never appealed to me enough. But now that I've tried it, amazing. So again, if you want 10% off your purchase at Inked Pens, you can use Love Gourmet pens, which I hope you do. And even if you don't love me, you can use it anyway. There will be a link for you to go browse the website, should you wish. And should you not wish, I'll put the link anyway. And that's everything. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found this useful. And I would love to hear your thoughts about the paper. Let me know. Any questions? Let me know. And there we go. Thanks so much, guys. Take care. Have a lovely week. And we will see you in a few days for another video. Bye! Lamy, net back.